check this out. This is Christie. Christie has changed his position on same-sex marriage, and he's running now, so of course he wants to make some points or whatever. But he points also to the changing of the church on this question, he says. And I know that's not the right interpretation, but that's what the world is getting. The church did change here. And while it's not accurate in reality, certainly by what they've done, it leads to that perception. Listen to Christie.
But you know what? I was wrong. And so, for me, it was a process I had to go through to change the way I've been raised, both from a family perspective and what my mother and father taught me and felt, and also from a religious perspective and what I'm a Catholic and what my church taught me to believe. But over time, look, this past week or two, Pope Francis is now allowing, blessings of same-sex couples. Even the church is changing.
That's the destructive, evil, and it has to be called out as evil for a politician to latch onto this. And you see the heads of those people of my age nodding and say, oh yeah, I guess I was wrong. It's like, that is evil, because the truth doesn't change and the church doesn't change her proclamation of truth. I mean, we need to send people back to the scriptures where I keep quoting St. Paul saying, if I or an angel from heaven come and give you a different gospel, let them be anathema. That's one translation, and it's a strong translation. That is what we need to tell people. No, the truth doesn't change. We can understand it more deeply. But what Christie just proclaimed is a false and destructive message that should be disavowed from the Vatican immediately, but it won't be, because that's exactly the agenda. That's what the present Vatican is teaching. What Christie is a good student of the new message, but it is evil and false and destructive.
One of the things we have, though, is a lot of people saying that people like Christie are just following, even the German bishops, let's say, are following what Pope Francis is leading. And there's a lot of credibility to that argument. Because even though, there's this document and it says no in some ways and yes in other ways, well, do you remember when the German bishops decided to go ahead and bless homosexual unions, by the way? They were told by the head of the bishops of Belgium that the Pope had approved them doing it in Belgium already. So they went ahead and did it. There were some noises from the Vatican, but never a stop from Pope Francis, ever.